What the fuck is up, YouTube? And I just ate a very firm avocado today when I was having my sushi, so I just came up here and decided to make a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video. So here we are. Today I will be going over my Satellarknight deck as promised, and we are 2 weeks into Master Duel now. 2 weeks into the Master Duel grind, and I have accumulated an almost perfect copy of the Satellarknight deck I use in real life. And I don't know how meta this deck is, or like how good it is compared to today's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like competitive fucking play or whatever. I'm only in bronze right now, or no, now I'm in silver. And so yeah, right away I just crafted this deck. I opened a lot of packs. I got pretty lucky with my packs. It was like the Satellarknights and the Constellars. I got enough cards that I needed, and then I crafted the other ones. So here we go. Starting off with Max C. I don't know. This is a card I didn't use in real life when I did use this deck. But I feel like now with all the the pendulums and the links and the Eldlich shit, all that stuff, just summoning left and right, I like the hand traps. I like to get some extra cards in my hand for next turn. And then we got Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This card doesn't really work as well with this deck as it would with others, but it's definitely at least one is a really well needed counter in this deck. We got the Shining Angel. This is just a good card if you don't draw the Satellarknights you need right away. You can just put this dude face down, buy yourself an extra turn, and really get the ball rolling the next turn, because then you can special summon one of your Satellarknights from your deck when he's destroyed. So he is very helpful. Same thing with Summoner Monk. You can just discard one of the spell cards you have right here and just special summon a level 4 monster from your deck. So that's just a first turn Exceed summon. Shit's great. One Honest. In real life I run 2 Honests, but I don't know, it makes a little bit of clutter. If you draw Honest, it's kind of harder to get an Exceed summon out, because he has no special summon abilities or anything like that. But yeah, getting into the real shit here, we got 3 Denebs, just to get another Satellarknight from your deck to your hand. Just keep the ball rolling. Altair is the staple in this deck, because you can just keep bringing them back from your graveyard with him. And then we got a Vega, which can summon a Satellarknight from your hand. So that's the great thing about this deck, is that all these Satellarknights just kind of feed into summoning each other and getting as many of them out on the board as possible, so you can get some Exceed summoning going on. This is an Exceed summoning heavy deck, almost entirely. You can link summon pretty well with this deck, but you know, it's meant for Exceeds, which is my favorite extra deck summoning, and so that's why I enjoy this deck so much as I do. But yeah, so the main strategy, you summon the Vega from your hand, which lets you summon the Altair, and then Altair lets you summon a Satellarknight from your graveyard, which usually you want it to be a Deneb. It can be a Unukalai. Unukalai is solid for getting cards from your deck to your graveyard, and then you can bring them from your graveyard to your field with Altair and just repeat the cycle. It's just a cycle of fuckery and Exceed summoning, so shit's great. And then one Awesome doesn't really have any special summoning abilities, so he can kind of clog up your rotation a little bit, but the 1000 damage when he's summoned is huge. You can already take away 1/8 of their life points, so that's why I keep at least 1 in here. You could run more of him instead of 3 Unukalais, but I just use 1. It's just smoother this way in my opinion. And then you want 2 or 3 hat triggers. I choose 2 because you can't summon Triver with a non-Satellarknight monster, and same with your Dark Tellarknight, so you can pretty much only summon Deltaros and then your extra guys, but that doesn't make him not an absolutely useful asset to your deck, because there's 2 or more monsters on the field. You can just special summon him, which is which is fucking huge. Getting into spell cards, we got one Raigeki, shit's broken. One Harpy's Feather Duster, also fucking broken. Monster Reborn, you know, like, pretty good card. Like, you could definitely get more use out of Monster Reborn in other decks, but this one can just, like, get the ball rolling if you don't have any Satellarknights in your hand or field. You can just summon Altair from your graveyard, then you can special summon, like, a, I don't know, like a Deneb with him or something. And reinforcements to the army, that's huge in this deck if you don't draw enough Satellarknights that you need right away. Smashing Ground, this is just kind of a cheese card if your opponent has like a card that has too much attack or something like that. Just get them off the field because this doesn't have a lot of attack. This deck doesn't have a lot of attack. It's mostly like abilities to wipe the field with your opponent's cards. So then one Pot of Avarice, one Pot of Duality, just to have some draw engines in your deck, because you do get some like dry hands, I guess, with this deck. So, but Pot of Duality is not a card you really want to be seeing since you can't special summon, and this deck is like entirely revolves around special summoning from your extra deck. So this is pretty much just a first turn card if you draw it. Lightning Storm, I don't really need to explain this, it's just fucking amazing. 3 Mystical Space Typhoons to get rid of, you know, Pendulum cards, face downs. I like the Forbidden cards a little bit personally, like, these shits come in clutch, I'm telling you. Target one face-up monster on the field until the end of the turn, that target gains 400 attack, but its effects are negated. So that's pretty huge. And then this is just the opposite. It loses 600 attack points, but it cannot be targeted or destroyed by other card effects. So that does come in handy quite a bit. Satellarknight Skybridge, you can make some like 2000 IQ plays, swapping a Satellarknight, then summoning another Satellarknight using its own ability. This is just like a great card specifically for this deck, but it's only good enough to the point where you want to run one of it. So yeah, moving on, we got the Bottomless Trap Hole. I want to run 3 of these. You can run less, but this card's pretty huge because you banish it. It's a summon negator, but it also banishes the card. So this is kind of like an Eldlich counter, a fucking Pendulum counter. Like, pretty much anything where they would have an ability out of being sent to the graveyard, they're banished instead. So, shit's fucking sick. We got Xyz Reborn. That's pretty helpful for this deck because, you know, you can bring back one of your fallen Satellarknights or cards and then get one more like effect out of them, one more use out of them. So that's great. We got Storming Mirror Force in case you lose everything on your field and still need a face down to, you know, pop everything back into their hand, destroy all their hard work. Solemn Judgment, just to negate summons, spell and trap cards. I don't like losing half my life points though, that's why I kind of prefer Bottomless Trap Hole or one of our 3 Stellar Nova Waves, which are pretty huge, plus it lets you draw a card. And if you have one of your Xyz monsters on your field, you can use this to get rid of them, negate the ability, and then Deltros and Triver have an ability that lets you summon another Satellarknight either from your deck or graveyard, depending on which one it is. And then we got Call the Fucking Haunted, just bring back a card from your graveyard. That's essentially what Oasis of Dragon Souls is too, just to get cards from your graveyard back on your field, get another summon. And then we got the Fiendish Chain. So since I don't have as many like negation traps, I use this so they can't attack or use their abilities. That buys me enough time to like get out Triver or Deltros. Triver returns all cards back to the hand, so I can just get this back, send my opponent's card that I used on back to their hand, and then I can just use this like in the future. Getting to the extra deck, we got 2 Utopias. I wanted to use like a rank up card in this, but I don't really have good enough Utopia Xyz evolution, so that just created clutter in my deck, so I got rid of it. Kachikochi Dragon. This card comes in handy just to get like damage off, and if you only have like a Vega and like one of these in your hand second turn, this helps you get like an extra attack off. You know, make some use out of those two cards if you don't want to summon your Dark Tellarknight. Heraldry Crest, this is just like a big Xyz counter in case you're running like a good ass Xyz card like the fucking Cannon or like a Galaxy Eyes or some shit. Deltaro is pretty self-explanatory for this deck. Detach one Xyz material, target a card on the field, any card on the field, and just destroy it. And then when it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Satellarknight from your deck. So this card it's just fucking sick. Next we got Stellarknight Triver. Return all cards to the hand when he's summoned. So that just fucks up the field. You can just get a free 2100 damage off that turn, and then his ability lets you discard a random card from your opponent's hand. So it just kind of feeds into that, just like sending all of your opponent's cards to the graveyard. They can't use shit. And then when Triver is destroyed, you can special summon a Satellarknight from your graveyard. So that is very nifty. Then we got Dark Tellarknight Batlamius. This was not a card when I played the game, but it is now, and it's super fucking helpful. If you only have 2 Satellarknights, you can use an Xyz material, discard a card, and then special summon a card, a Satellarknight card that is, from your extra deck, using him as an Xyz material. So that's how you can just get your Triver or Deltaros out if you only have like a Vega and one of these other cards. If you only get 2 Satellarknights on your field, basically. And then we got Stellarknight Constellar Diamond. I really only use him as a dark counter, like if they have a powerful dark deck. I just use that, fucking throw it out. It counters and destroys a dark monster's ability. That's really what it's good for. But you can just summon him out using a Satellarknight or a Stellarknight Xyz monster as its Xyz material. So it's kind of in that whole rank up Xyz shit. So I think it's a good card to have, but I definitely would prefer having my Triver or Deltaros. Then I had some extra room, so I just threw in a couple Link monsters. I haven't really mastered the Link summoning shit yet, but we got the Triple Burst Dragon, we got a Gave Dragon, and then we got Raster Liger. Yeah, I know what they do, but I don't ever use them. They're pretty much a last case, or worst case scenario, last ditch effort in case all of my Xyz cards have just been fucking wiped out and I need to get some shit out there. But the Akashic Magician, I do, however, really like. It's very conditional because when you summon it, you can turn the cards it points to back to the hand. And I think that's really helpful, but it also only has like a forward and backwards arrow, so like that is an extremely conditional card. But it has come in handy for me one time, and it was worth having in my deck just for that one occasion. So yeah, that was the deck composition. Now let's get into the actual gameplay. Alright, so now we're getting into the actual gameplay. You're getting to see how this deck works. Just fuck some dudes up with it. I sped this up so it'll be kind of hard to see what's going on, but at the same time, you don't have to sit through like a fucking hour-long video. So yeah, I used like the Lightning Storm, Lightning Strike, whatever that card's called, wipe this field. Then I used Pot of Duality because I wasn't really happy with my hand. Bring out the Shining Angel, and then get some direct attack damage in there. End my turn. I think this next turn he's able to bring out a Blue Eyes right away. Oh yeah, he Lightning Storms me, but then I use Forbidden Dress, so it came in handy, the Forbidden Dress card. And I was able to keep my fucking Shining Angel from the Lightning Strike. In this turn, I believe I bring out Deltaros. Yeah. You can just see how this deck just runs so smoothly for Exceed summoning. Bring out Deltaros, just get an absolute wallop of damage in this turn. He's at 2,700 life points, and then this is the turn he brings out the Blue Eyes. It's like this Karibo Link card. I don't really know what it does. Like, I don't know shit about any of these new cards, but here you can see he's able to bring out that thing. Set my bottomless trap hole. Destroy his Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon and go to attack the little Karibo fella. And then my turn. I got Harpy's Feather Duster, which kind of blows. He's able to bring out his Blue Eyes White Dragon card. Here he goes, thinking he's finally going to get some damage in, but wait for it. The Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, and I got Honest, and the game's over for him. That's why we keep Honest in this deck, for turns like that, for instances where they just have the attack points, and you need to just fucking get their attack points and just overpower them. And okay, so this was the next game, actually 2 games after, against an Eldlich, Eldritch, whatever the zombie gold pimp motherfucker is. But it was like a Eldlich Sky Striker deck, and it was just a fundamentally sound, like, this crazy ass deck that I knew nothing about. I just tried to counter it the best I could with this deck, and it worked. This deck put in work this game, and made me proud of my creation. This turn I think I bring out Deltaros. Yeah, my game was bugged last night actually. During this game in particular, I couldn't see. It wasn't like my selecting thing was messed up, so that threw me off. My game was running a little slower because of that. So I finally figure out how to just get his card destroyed. And he brings out another monster, a little level 4 Sky Striker. And I go on to the battle phase and just attack him. He brings out that card. And I think I end up getting absolutely 0 damage done that turn. This is a pretty one-sided game until the end. Like, he has just a shit ton of damage on me. By the time I finally do damage to him, I only have 600 life points, so. He uses Eldlich card. I used my Stellar Nova Wave, got rid of Deltaros, which let me bring out just like a plethora of fucking Satellarknights. Just load up my field with them, and it countered his Eldlich the Golden Lord. So that was fucking sick. Helped me out a lot there. And he brings out this Sky Striker, which the Sky Striker Ace Kagari, I think. I don't know how the fuck you pronounce that. But it seems like a pretty solid card. I've seen like that cover art everywhere while playing this game, so I think it's got to be a pretty solid card. But then again, I don't know jack shit about the Sky Strikers. And I don't really know, like I know I have an Eldlich deck copied, but I don't have it filled out all the way, and I don't know how to run it perfectly. So here I am just getting kind of fucked up by his field. And he brings out a different Sky Striker. My monsters are just getting weak, but I'm able to get things rolling this turn. Just you watch. I believe I bring out Triver this turn, and my mentality for this was I bring out Triver and I'm getting 1 Satellarknight back in my hand, since it returns all cards from the field back to the hand, and it also sends his cards back to their hand, and I get to discard a card from his hand. But he managed to bring out a monster somehow and just defend himself, and then I think he can get rid of that card to just end the battle phase or some shit like that. I think that's how that one card works. So I just said fuck it, use Pot of Avarice, Just got a nice little reset with my graveyard. And I do get some damage in after all. Then I think this turn is where things go south for me. Shit's drying out my throat. See, I max seed because I sensed like a shit ton of stuff coming this turn. I sensed a lot of summons, so I thought I'd just throw out the max seed and get some cards out of it at least. I don't know if he saw, I can't remember if he saw around it or not. I'm pretty sure I take some big damage soon. Let me see here. Oh yeah, he gets my card somehow. Brings out Eldlich. I'm down to 600 life points. Things are looking grim. And then he brings out that using Eldlich and my own card, but I'm able to get the Triver Train going, bring out a card from my graveyard, and yeah, just get the whole shebang going again. I chose Awesome, and I do think that was a good move on my part because it helped me get some damage in long term just by summoning him. Just by summoning him, that's an easy 1000 damage. And yeah, just bring out my Dark Tellarknight. And then I think I used him to bring out another Triver, right? Oh shit, yeah, he gets control of my card. That kind of blue chunks. Got 1000 damage in there. I don't know what card he has that just captures my monster, but I'm not a fan of it, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, there we go. I get my Dark Tellarknight back. I get rid of the only card in his hand, and that's how I'm able to turn things around. Use up all the cards in his hand, and Triver is just able to get rid of all of those cards from the hand. He used Effect Veiler. He thought I had another Satellarknight in my hand, but I didn't. I had my Performapal, and I'm able to bring out Utopia and get in the exact amount of damage I need to win the fucking game. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. I have so much pride in this deck, and I think it's just so much fun to use. Like, being able to build the deck you use in real life is just so fucking cool. And I got another video coming up. It's like a nice little like way to use the Utopia structure deck. So yeah, look forward to seeing that. But thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys later.